All right, we are up to 1995 in the Classic Playoff Series playlist. And in 95, the most interesting series was one that involved the New Jersey Devils, who were on their way to a Stanley Cup. Now, on the way to this series, they knocked out the Boston Bruins in five. They knocked out Pittsburgh in five. I remember that knockout over Boston in five. They made it look easy. They did. And then they would go on to sweep the Detroit Red Wings in the final, where again, they made it look easy. The only team that really challenged them was Philadelphia. Now, Philadelphia, for their part, they beat Buffalo in five. Then they beat the Rangers in four. This was the playoffs that, more than any other, to me, it looked like they wanted to get it over with. This was a 48-game season. So it was a shortened season, and it looked to me like players wanted a shortened playoffs as well. A lot of sweeps. A ton of them. Basically, it was once you won that first game, momentum took you through. And there's something to be said for when you have a playoffs where everybody's healthy and refreshed. It's a shorter season. That it is kind of somewhat easier for teams to go on that roll. So we'll see whether or not that might happen this coming summer, right? Again, we don't know what's going to happen. So here I am talking about series from 1995. And for anybody who's like, why didn't you talk about these series from these years? Because I'm going to go back and start over again once I reach 2019. This is going to be an ongoing series until hockey's back. So I might have time to go through series for back to like 1918. We just don't know, right? So New Jersey, it was a really impressive run. They lost 4 games on their way to a Stanley Cup, and 2 of them were against the Philadelphia Flyers. Now, during the season, there wasn't really any indication this was coming. They were 22-18-8. 136 goals for, which was 13th in the league. 121 goals against, which was 5th. Now, the Flyers, 28-16-4. 150 goals for, which was 9th. 132 goals against, which was 8th in the NHL. The Flyers, contending. And Eric Lindros was a member of the Flyers at this stage. And they had Hextall there for another go-around. So Hextall leaves the Flyers, stays in Quebec for a short period of time, goes to the Islanders, was not the answer for the Islanders, and ends up back in Philly, where he never should have left. He never should have left the Flyers. And things don't go well for a home team. And the Flyers had home ice advantage because look at New Jersey's record. They weren't that great during the regular season, but they were good when it mattered. So, first period, Bill Guerin scores from Breland and Zelepukin at 15:06. Valeri Zelepukin, one of my favorite names ever in the history of the National Hockey League. Scott Niedermayer then scores from McLean and Chorsky at 18:34. So it's 2-0 after the first period in favor of the road team, the New Jersey Devils. McKay then scores from Driver in the second at 15:02. 3-0. Third period, Guerin scores at 2:04. That makes it 4-0. The only question left is, does Brodeur get a shutout? And the answer is no. McTavish scores from Sean Podine at 18:06. That ruins the shutout, but it doesn't make Philadelphia feel much better as they lose 4-1. And yes, that's Craig McTavish. Marty Brodeur, 20 saves on 21 shots in the victory. Hextall, 24 saves on 28 shots. And this is what I've said the whole way through about Marty Brodeur. He didn't face a ton of shots. This was a New Jersey team that kept the puck to the outside, and they waited. They made you frustrated that you just couldn't get through their tight checking in the neutral zone, and the trap was fantastic. Now, game 2, Philadelphia did their best to fight through that trap. And in the first period, it looked like they might have some success. Eric Lindros scores from Dineen and Desjardins at 7:08. We then get a power play goal by McKay from Richer and Broughton at 12:32. Stefan Richer on this New Jersey team. The Philadelphia Flyers then score on the power play themselves. It's Renberg from Lindros and Leclerc. Yes, the Legion of Doom line at 13:54. But in the last minute, New Jersey ties it again. It's McLean scoring from Lemieux and Stevens at 19:48. It's 2-2 after 1. Second period, New Jersey takes over. Still on the road in Philadelphia. Broughton scores from Chambers and Driver at 3:51. Holik then scores from Peluso and McKay at 4:59. And it's Ken Danico with a goal from Richer and Lemieux at 17:02. They don't have any scoring at all in the third period. They don't need it. New Jersey wins 5-2. Brodeur saves 18 out of 20 shots. He faced 41 shots in 2 games. Hextall saved 11 out of 16. Dominic Roussel goes in. Roussel saves 8 out of 8. Sorry, I kicked the footing of this. But Roussel saves 8 out of 8 in relief. and we go to game 3, which is in New Jersey. So, in New Jersey, here we go. First period, the Devils get a lead, and they were looking to go up 3-0. Claude Lemieux from Scott Stevens at 1:32. Kevin Dineen then ties it up from Dykhouse and Svoboda at 4:31. 1-1 tie after one. Second period, McKay scores from Holik at 2:53. That's the only scoring in the second. In the third, Philadelphia does manage to tie it up. Rod Brindamore scores from Leclerc and Renberg at 13:57. And then in overtime, Philadelphia fights their way through the trap, and they succeed. Lindros from Leclerc and Renberg. Yes, the Legion of Doom line strikes again at 4 minutes and 19 seconds. Philadelphia's on the board. They're down 2-1. Hextall saves 31 out of 33. Brodeur saves 22 out of 25 in the loss. So we go to game 4. Again, New Jersey just needs to win one at home. They can go up 3-1. Philadelphia has other plans. Rolston scores a power play goal in the first from Dean and McLean at 14:44. Podine then scores from Dykhouse and McTavish at 18:09. That makes it 1-1. Second period, Renberg scores from Lindros at 17 minutes and 50 seconds. So that makes it 2-1 for Philadelphia after 2. Third period, shorthanded goal by Rod Brindamore at 4 minutes and 53 seconds. And then Eric Desjardins adds the insurance goal from Leclerc and Haller at 11 minutes and 47 seconds. New Jersey would score to answer. Peluso scores from McKay and Sean Chambers at 13:31. But Philadelphia holds on and wins at 4-2. Hextall saved 32 out of 34. Brodeur saves 13 out of 17. He's replaced. Chris Terreri saves both shots that he faces in relief. So the New Jersey Devils struggle at home, and they lose both. And so we go to game 5. Philadelphia just needs to win at home. Just whatever team can assert themselves at home. It's not Philly. First period, McLean scores from Guerin and Niedermeyer at 3:42. That leaves the Flyers fighting from behind. That always makes it tougher. Then Dineen scores a power play goal from Yushkovich and Semenov at 7:28. And then a power play goal by New Jersey restores the lead. It's Bobby Carpenter from McKay and Dean at 17:17. 2-1 after one. Second period, no scoring. Third period, there is a tying goal for the Flyers. It's Kevin Dineen from Yushkovich and Brindamore at 3:13. But the game-winning goal is scored by Claude Lemieux at 19 minutes and 15 seconds. On the goaltending front, Brodeur saves 16 out of 18 in the victory. Hextall saves 29 out of 32 in the loss. Just add the extra L there because you can't forget that Hextall has 2 L's or it becomes Hextall. Totally different. So, game 6 in New Jersey. So Philadelphia has to win their third in New Jersey. They've won 2. New Jersey just has to assert themselves at home after winning 3 on the road. New Jersey was a pretty good road team during those playoffs as well, which when you're sweeping series like that, you're probably winning some games on the road. Now, first period, Jim Montgomery scores a goal. Yes, that Jim Montgomery from Semenov and Antosky at 4:05. Sean Antosky with the Flyers. That lead doesn't hold. Power play goal for Stefan Richer from Broughton and Niedermeyer at 10:25 ties it up. Rolston then scores from Guerin and Niedermeyer at 18:15. It's 2-1 New Jersey, and they look to be on their way to a Stanley Cup Finals appearance. Second period, it's McKay from Holik and Chambers at 11:58. It's 3-1, and with the way that these guys play hockey, the game's over. Third period, Claude Lemieux scores from Carpenter and Richer at 10 minutes and 11 seconds. That makes it 4-1. The Flyers get a power play. They do score on it. Renberg scores from Lindros and Leclerc at 16:29, so that's the Legion of Doom line on the board again. But it's just not enough. Hextall saves 25 out of 29 in the loss. Brodeur only faces 16 shots and saves 14 of them. So over the last 2 games that the Flyers played, Brodeur's faced a total of 34 shots. He faced 51 over the last 3 games. They only allowed 53 shots in 3 games to end out that series, as New Jersey just strangled any offense out of the Philadelphia Flyers. And that's how they played. It could be tough to watch at times. You look at Brodeur's numbers. He only faced 21 here, 20 here, 25 here, 17 here before he gets pulled, 18 here, and 16 here. That is some tremendous defense by the New Jersey Devils. Now, in Brodeurs' favor, and you know, in his defense as well, is that when you're not facing very many shots, it can be hard to maintain your focus, and he did that. Now, when we look at the overall numbers out of the series, McKay, great series for McKay. 4 goals and 3 assists, 7 points for Randy McKay. Claude Lemieux, 3 goals and 2 assists. Guerin, 2 goals, 2 assists. McLean, 2 goals and 2 assists for him. Marty Brodeur, 4 and 2 with an .880 save percentage in the series. Terreri just had the 2 saves in the 1 appearance that he had. On the Flyers side, Lindros, 2 goals and 3 assists. And this is one of those years where it looked like the Flyers could have, might have, should have maybe won the Stanley Cup and didn't. There were a few of them during the Lindros era. Dineen, 3 goals and 1 assist. Not bad for veteran Kevin Dineen. Renberg, 3 goals and 1 assist. Leclaire, 4 assists as the Legion of Doom line struck, but not often enough. They combined in this series for 13 points over 6 games. New Jersey controlled them very well, kept them off the shot clock and off the score sheet as well as any team could. Hextall 2 and 4 with an .884 save percentage. Roussel didn't allow a goal in his relief appearance either. And so for the Flyers, it was a tough time because again with what was going on with Lindros, it looked like he was the heir apparent as the best player in the league, and there were certain years where he was pretty darn good, and this was one of them. And that Legion of Doom line was really playing some of its best hockey, and just New Jersey strangled it. Great coaching, really solid defense, good goaltending when they needed it, and timely offense. You'll notice a lot of names among those New Jersey Devils, veteran players, guys who'd played elsewhere that they brought in. Lou Lamoriello put together a really strong team, and they would get their way to the Stanley Cup with only 4 losses along the way, including the 2 in this series. And even in the 2 losses they had in this series, it's not like they got blown out. They were close games. An overtime loss here, and this one here they allowed 2 in the third period to Philadelphia. But it was a close game. It was 2-1 going into that period. So pretty darn solid series for New Jersey, and it showed the height, the inception of the dead puck era that ushered in from this season, which came from a lockout shortened year. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. It's kind of a New Jersey Devils day today. That's going to happen tomorrow as well. The New Jersey Devils are up on my off-season outlook for tomorrow, so look forward to that. And hey, thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. Do hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. I will talk to you guys again very soon. Stay home and stay safe.